Welcome to Around the Weird. Here's your host, the museum curator of the strange and unusual, Mr. Nothing.
Thank you, Mysterious Voice, and welcome back to Around the Weird, a booktube channel where I talk about all the unusual and out of the ordinary literature that I have found in my travels. So today is not a day I don't want to talk about a specific book that I read, but rather I want to do the usual wrap-up and TBR for May and June, respectively. The first thing worth noting, since it's been a month since this last video, is I'm in a new place. You might recognize this as not being the place where I usually make videos, or that I didn't do it for the past 5 years, but now I am in a new place. I am in Minnesota. I moved there. I was offered a new job in an elevated position at a university, which I think is a great opportunity. Allows me to do what I currently do for students with disabilities, and I'm in a new environment. I was living on the West Coast since 2014, and I consider that to be pretty much home. But something you might not know about me, about Mr. Nothing here, is I was living in Iowa from like 2001 until 2014. So I've been to the Midwest before, but now it's time to live in Minnesota. So it's been an interesting journey. Still trying to get the place set up, but you can see some stuff behind me. We have some placards and whatnot. Still trying to put some stuff up, but I believe that right there is the Everything Everywhere All at Once movie poster, which I really enjoy, but I'm still trying to find more art to kind of hang on the wall and have a good background behind me. And because I was moving, there was less reading to be done in May. Unfortunately, I was getting set up, and I didn't really have a lot of time to get things done. But now I recontinued I restarted my reading habit. So I'm very nearly done with one of the books that I'm reading. I've also visited the local library. Don't forget to patronize your local libraries. They might have fascinating books, movies, TVs, and TV related things and other such stuff. So be sure to do that. Also, defend your local library from weirdos who wish to ban books and control who gets to read what, because that's not healthy and that's very fascist behavior. But yeah, that's what's going on. I have some interesting reads scheduled for June. Hopefully I'll explore more. I did have a reading goal that you might have heard me talk about at the beginning of the year, but I don't think I'll be able to meet it. I've been in this kind of situation before, where I've moved and I didn't get as much reading as I wanted done, but I think the important thing to note is the quality of reads over the quantity of reads. So I'm sure I'll find some pretty good books in the next 6 or so months. But without further ado, let's talk about the wrap-up for May and the TBR for June, and we'll move on from there. In terms of the wrap-up, what did I read for May? Well, there were no books at all, unfortunately. Again, I drove to Minnesota, so that didn't really allow me an opportunity to read much. I could have probably listened to audiobooks, but that's not really my thing. So no books, but I did read one short story at the end of May, and that was North Country Early Morning, a short story about something that I can't remember the exact kind of plot elements. It was about a robbery that took place. It was fine, but it didn't really wow me too much. Very average, but hopefully I'll find more short stories soon. And then in terms of poetry, there was not really a lot of poetry to be read, or I didn't make any videos about it. Usually this is about the time where I would start the LGBT readathon that would go from June into July. And it usually starts at the end of May, but I didn't get to it, but I'll start it in the next week. So that should be good. So be on the lookout for some interesting poetry. It might spill into August, just so that I can get a lot more specific LGBT reading done, but we'll see where it takes me. But yeah, that's really, what I read for May, which wasn't much at all. But what do I intend to read for June? What is my TBR? In terms of books, I have a fair bit planned. I stopped at a bunch of local bookstores, which I shouldn't have done because I haven't finished what I started reading already. So, that's weird. But one of the books is The Senility of Vladimir P., which was a random sort of selection from my local library. Again, don't forget to patronize your local libraries. It's a pretty strange book, but I'm almost done with it. So we'll see what's worth talking about when I finish with that. There's The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, which I've been wanting to read for a couple months, but haven't really had a chance to get to. A Tale of Two Cities. You might have recalled in the previous month I was reading Great Expectations, but I did not enjoy it. So I just decided to stop reading it. I did not want to just sort of force myself to read something I was not really connecting with. So maybe A Tale of Two Cities will be better, or maybe this is just how I find out that Charles Dickens is not for me. Unfortunately. There's also Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. Again, I went to a bookstore that was kind of random, but I've had good luck with random selections at other bookstores. The Lager Queen of the Midwest was one of those selections, so hopefully this one will be pretty good too. And then Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is a recommendation by a friend. I really want to finally get to that, so I'll try to get to that in June, maybe July, if I'm not able to get to it in June. That was also on my 2026 TBR, so I'm trying to get some books off that list. So we'll see what more it kind of yields down the road. There's also a number of short stories planned, including Arthur Clarke, which I'm currently in the process of making the video for. Chimamanda Adichie, that's an African writer right there, and then Frank Stockton. Looking forward to reading all of that. And then, as I mentioned before, poems, LGBT flavored poems. So LGBT writers, be on the lookout for that throughout the next couple months. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the wrap-up and TBR for May and June. Lots of interesting things planned, but if you have any specific books that you think I might need to get to, any recommendations, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that more people can find out about these books, or they can just, follow the channel if they're interested in doing so. Be sure to join the Discord, which there will be linked to in the description if you want to talk more about books, movies, TV, that sort of thing. And until then, I wish you the best of luck in your weird and June-related travels. Farewell.